What a Catch, Part 90, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 89 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. If you find the narration speed to be either too fast or too slow for your tastes, you can click on the settings wheel on the video to change it to your preference. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fanfiction. Marinette stared at the fridge in horror, but not from lack of food. According to Lila, there were 3 major hawk moth fights since the Eiffel Tower that she had no memory of. Cat Blanc? She whispered. The name didn't ring a bell. I would assume that's Adrien's true akumatized form, Lila said, setting down her marker. It doesn't ring a bell. Do you have a photo? Alia asked. Nope. All of the footage got corrupted, but imagine Cat Noir in a white suit instead of a black one. And this didn't ring any bells in the media? Nino piped in. We thought it was a copycat, to be honest. An extreme fan, if you will. Lila set the marker down on the counter. Because he looked so much like Cat Noir? No, because we saw him multiple times. Usually akumatized victims have their 15 minutes of glory and they're done. What kind of chaos did he wreak? There was one fight with Carapace, one fight with Rena Rouge, and one fight with Queen Bee. All on separate occasions? Yes. Are there any articles on those fights? Let me check. Marinette scoured her brain. Marinette scoured her brain, knowing she wouldn't be able to remember anything. Had she fought Cat Blanc before without any witnesses? Did she not think about Cat Noir during those fights? Did she think Cat Blanc was Cat Noir when they fought? If only she had her untampered memory. It doesn't matter, Marinette said. It's a waste of time. If I haven't heard about it, then he only exists as a whisper of a memory on the corners of the internet. Tell us what happened. Long story short, once he touched his opponents, he'd leave, Lila said. Touched his opponents? Alia piped in. The last time Carapace and Rena Rouge were seen in public were at the Cat Blanc fights. Marinette glanced over at Alia. She was filled in with her getting back the missing part of her Miraculous from Hawkmoth. But who could have guessed the fight with an akumatized Cat Noir would be to blame? Oh, Alia said. That makes a lot of sense. You believe me? How long ago was this? It was the second fight, so about 2 years ago. Huh, wow. All this time I wondered why I lost it. But this answer is more than I expected. This answer? What are you talking about, Alia? Lila asked. You're the only one in this room who doesn't know at this point. I'm Rena Rouge. No one said anything before she replied. Honestly, that's the least surprising thing I've heard all day. That's it? You're just going to accept Alia as Miraculous holder just like that? Marinette said. At this point, Marinette, you could be Ladybug, and I wouldn't be surprised. She saw Chloe smirk and lean back in her chair out of the corner of her eye. Marinette would have laughed if she weren't so stressed, but the irony helped to raise her mood a bit. Is it possible he fought Ladybug as well? If he did, then I didn't see it. I doubt it, though. as either Hawkmoth would have her miraculous or Adrien would be de-evilized by now. So, how do we catch him as Cat Blanc? And how do we do it without setting Ladybug up? Alia piped in. Lila sighed and pointed to the sketch on the fridge. All of the fights were predetermined events. For example, Rena Rouge's fight with him was on the night of a charity gala, and none of the other miraculous holders were there. So if we want to do it, we have to invite her, but not let Adrien know that any of the other teammates are there. That'd be difficult. How so? Instinct tells me he'd be suspicious if me or Marinette told him about anything. You were at the fight, Lila, so you aren't an option either. What about your husband? Alia glanced at Nino and shook her head. Always assume both members of a couple know the same things. If Nino invites him, it will be like I've invited him. Lila sighed and clicked her tongue. Touché. The room was silent as the heavy mood settled back in. What were their options? Marinette rolled through one possible plan to another with no success. Alia was right. It would be suspicious if she invited him to an event, but she couldn't help him if they weren't together in the same room. Hawkmoth would be suspicious of anyone they both knew, and he obviously wasn't hiding his control over the love of her life anymore. It seemed as though there wasn't any good way to... Chloe's sneeze caught Marinette's attention. That was it. Chloe! Chloe could do it! I've got it, Marinette said, standing up and walking over to the fridge. Give me that marker! Lila raised an eyebrow and tossed her the green expo. You have a plan? I'll go to a charity gala here in New York, and Chloe... She gestured to the Parisian princess sitting in the corner. We'll whine about it to Adrien. Won't he catch on? Lila asked. He doesn't know that she knows that I'm involved. He doesn't know that she knows that I'm involved, nor does he know that you, Lila, told her. For all he and Hawkmoth know, she isn't a miraculous holder. Chloe is a miraculous holder? Marinette pressed her lips together, realizing her mistake a moment too late. Surprise! Queen Bee is in the house, Chloe said, somewhat sarcastically. So how do we tell Ladybug to be there? Lila asked. Chloe rolled her eyes and leaned back in her chair. Something tells me she already knows. What do you... Lila began. She stopped abruptly to look at Marinette. Oh. Ta-da! Marinette said, giving her a small curtsy. Well, that makes sense. I'm glad you can accept it so quickly. Not quite. I have one request before I do. What's that? Let me sock you. I'm sorry? She blinked in surprise. Just once, Lila asked again. May I ask why? Ugh, stop talking so politely. I'm sorry? Lila rolled her eyes and gave Plag a deadpan look before continuing. You know what? I'll choose a better time to have this conversation. We need to get you into a gala. Oh, I've got just the thing, Chloe said, tossing her personal phone. 4 nights from now. That'll give him enough time to fly over here, and we can find a new place to hang out. Aren't you worried about them finding us? Nino chimed in. Please, She rolled her eyes. Don't be ridiculous. This is New York City. We'll be fine. Are we staying as a group or splitting up? My vote is for the buddy system, Marinette said. Good. Nino nodded his head in agreement. So what's in 4 days? Chloe tapped on her phone to pull up a website. It's a designer's gala, she said. I'll whine to him about regretfully sending Marinette in my place, and that I haven't seen her because I'm in Jersey. He knows how much I hate Jersey, so it'll be an honest mix-up in his eyes. Hopefully, you mean? Yeah, hopefully. No one knew what to do next. Start eating? Get up and leave? Talk about the weather? What do you do after a group meeting like that? Chloe was the first one to excuse herself. Then Alia and Nino left hand in hand. After a few minutes of silence, Lila and Plag exited together, leaving Marinette to stand alone in the kitchen. Tiki? She whispered, opening her purse. Yes. Her best friend floated up, yawning as she did so. Marinette didn't reply as she reached out to boop the Kwame, giving her a gentle smile. Thinking about Adrien akumatized and the mess that came with it not only made her heart ache, but it also tugged a feeling of loneliness that she'd hidden away a long time ago. She wouldn't know why that feeling resurfaced until just over 4 days later at the stroke of midnight, but that didn't matter at the moment. Marinette needed to learn more about the gala she's attending and the floor plans of the building. It was time for Marinette to plot Ladybug's plan. Thank you so much for listening. Part 91 is on its way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction. I'll catch you next time.